Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, on Patreon, and everything else I usually go about on Twitter X. Yesterday, no, today is Wednesday. Monday, I did manage to publish a Death Stranding episode there. Some the episodes, I don't know, in a couple episodes or so, the the length will increase a little bit. The last episodes that I've been recording, they are around about 2 to 2.5 hours or so. Again, I get lost on doing things inside the game. But yeah, it's been a pretty good experience interacting with all the gameplay systems there, trying to do the best that I can there. Um, but yeah, it's been a good experience, and so far I will continue to publish around 2 episodes per week. Given that the length of the episodes are increasing, the time that I spend, again, instead of 2 episodes, I can only record one. Basically, that's the reason why, for the moment being. If I have more backlog episodes, I might ramp up a little bit the publishing of those episodes. But yeah, there you go. Um, I still didn't have time to go through the demos. I wanted to check out Celebrate demo. I installed it. I didn't even start up there. And there is also another one, Hell is Us. I'm also interested in trying that one out, but I still didn't manage to even download it to try it out and see how it goes. But yeah, in the meantime, we got already completed gameplay series here, some shorter games, some bigger games, but yeah, they are all good games. At least that's my philosophy. While trying out and starting new games, I only continue if I like the games that I'm playing there. Yeah, let's go to the news. Not much happening in terms of hardware. Again, I'm still waiting for, I think tomorrow or something like that, will come out the 9060 XT reviews. Then I will try to cover that because, again, we've been seeing a lot of leaked performance, which is basically synthetic benchmarks and such. Again, I'm not going to worry about that much with those. I want to see real gaming performance in if it is any kind of decent in terms of price to performance comparatively with we have already on the market there. There has been some rumors with supposedly AMD being working on the super duper top end RDNA 4 GPU. It's rumors, some inside information, mainly from Moore's Law is that channel. I think his name is Tom. I think his last cut down yields or the podcast that he does long format. He covers a little bit there. Something interesting, but again, it's only rumors. Again, we don't have any official information to guide ourselves through, but I will see. But from the information that he give us, it seems something interesting. But I need more details on that to make some coverage there. Yesterday we did have Unreal Engine showcase, the 5.6 version of the Unreal Engine there. Um, I'm still a little bit worried about to see if they did manage so far to try and solve the situation, which it seems inherent on Unreal Engine, at least as far as I remember, Unreal Engine 4 version. The constant micro stuttering, especially on the latest games, and the fact that it's very demanding for what it tries to do there in the certain aspects, especially in open world games. Um, I think the latest case might be Oblivion Remaster, and other games that are kind of bigger in the sense that they don't seem very well optimized. But it's very heavy on the CPU. I'm not sure it has to do with the technologies there, the nanites and how we works with the texture stuff there. How I'm not exactly sure how demanding it is or which specific case, but it seems to be something that the engineers still didn't get through that. And accompanying that Unreal Engine demo, again, I didn't watch the showcase. I watched some pictures specifically from the Witcher 4 tech demo. Again, remember, this is a tech demo. From the pictures and the short clips that I saw, Seems very interesting. They did change a lot series, especially the facial features. Now she looks a little bit more like City. um I don't know what happened with the first trailer that they launched there, because even that trailer was an Unreal Engine. I don't know if it is from everybody's feedback saying that she was not even a lookalike or similar to Siri, at least from the Witcher 3 game. It didn't have anything to do with that. Again, discounting all the lore implications of her becoming a Witcher, uh, with the full throttle grass of the trial, a trial of the grasses. Again, putting that aside, again, the images, again, they seem pretty good, but all tech demos, they all seem pretty good. If you remember the first tech demo for Unreal Engine 5, it looks very smooth, everything looks super duper. And then we got the Unreal Engine 5 games, and it was a little bit of a disaster to say the least. The same thing can be said to a certain degree to The Witcher 4. I hope this tech demo reflects the quality of, in terms of graphic fidelity, and how things like the wind affects the vegetation, the level of detail of everything, and the interactions that the character has in the environment. I saw some clips are passing down through a rock formation, and how the character interacts physically with within the world. Suppose there is a lot of some NPCs that part of the showcase goes about in the city there, trying to go around and see characters and how they interact with each other. Again, it's a tech demo. It's kind of a vertical slice of the best case scenario of what the game should be. Let's say I don't have my hopes too high. That's why I was not very interested in seeing this tech demo, because at least in terms of urgency to cover this, because again, it's a tech demo. It's going to be to shine the best light possible regarding specifically on this version of Unreal Engine. Um, yeah, but supposedly they are announcing with this that there's going to be some improvements in terms of performance, especially nanite foliage, which supposedly is solving the issue of needing dense foliage without impacting performance, and allow developers to surpass the level of detailed tricks that have been used so far. In terms of theoretical, nanite seems pretty good, which is independent of the distance that you are from that object, or in this case, foliage from a forest or something like that. The In terms of uh, graphic fidelity, it always seems good, independent of the distance that you are from the object, because it uses. It's not different textures. It tries to make a representation differently, because the tricks that we'll be using to see is it loses definition, the assets, the farther distance that you watch them through, and as you go along and approach that object, it starts gaining more fidelity in terms of visual representation on the screen there. Nanite supposedly theoretically solves this, which tries to arrange the same level of detail depending on the settings, of course, that you put on the game itself, and tries to maintain the same visual uh, graphic fidelity, let's say, from the point of view of the observer, and without any extra costs for the hardware, because maintaining the same visual fidelity, again, before, especially with the textures, it has some impact on trying to cache that in the hardware, that information. Supposing Nanite was supposed to solve all of that, but there is some supposedly they are now solving this with this version. Again, it seems so. But yeah, the real test is going to be when the games which have this 5.6 version of the Real Engine will come out, and then we will see on the hardware that it's available at that time. Even though they're saying that this tech demo was running on PlayStation 5 at 60 frame, 4K 60 frames, with ray tracing. Again, it doesn't mean anything. To a certain degree, this can be done with a tech demo, because it's a very specific part of supposedly the game, because I assume that this will not be one by one what is going to be represented in the final version of the game, for sure. But yeah, take it with a lot of precaution. The hype that is going about regarding this tech demo, it always looks like this in every game engine tech demo. It's always try to shine the best light possible in that specific game engine, and this is the same case with the Witcher 4. Yeah, but again, my positive thoughts is now Siri looks like Siri. At least it seems a little bit more look-alike of what we saw and interact with in The Witcher 3. Uh, um, but yeah, this is what I got. Again, there's going to be gamers summer, Games Summers Fest or whatever they call Summers Game Fest, something like that. I will try to cover the best I can. It's going to be a lot of information for sure that I'm going to miss out, but I will do my best. Then we got this Build a Rocket Boy. I've been covering this again since I first saw this. It doesn't look a pretty good game. Seems very blandish of the game itself. I don't know what they're trying to do here. Um, but now we have, in addition, there was a couple of days ago saying that there was kind of a conspiracy. I think it was the co-chief executive officer saying that any negative attention to the game is a result of people getting paid to do so. Again, I don't know where this came from. But yeah, this game is not seemingly going to be a good one, a good launch. And we have to add up to that two chief executives from the studio. They just pull out the parachute 1 week before the launch of the game, which it's very odd to say the least. And those two chief executives are the CFO, which is the chief financial officer, and the chief legal officer. This is not looking good for this studio. Uh, I think this is going to be a huge fail. That's my perception, and the fact that even the game itself doesn't look any good. It seems like a bland shooter with a bland story. There is nothing that it's coming out as something unique they're trying to experiment with, except for their technology of assets, which is basically let the players build the game for you in a certain way. At least that's the impression that I got from the trailers that I've been seeing for that. Yeah, 1 week before launch, having these people just leave. They didn't even were fired or something like that. They just left. So it shows that there is not a lot of confidence for the launch, and they don't want to take any kind of heat regarding the poor launch that this game will probably have. There has been also less than enthusiastic previews of the game. Again, I didn't see any previews for this game. Um, and again, it's the thing, we don't know too much about this game in terms of what it's trying to do there, what kind of story they're trying to tell, except there is some AI stuff there, chip an AI chip on the guy that lost the memory. Again, it's a little bit bland, and the gameplay also. They are not giving out review codes, which is usually not a good sign. And there is supposedly negative reviews on the studio's internal structure from former employees on Glassdoor, which usually it's kind of a review site for companies. But yeah, this is not looking good. I don't have any faith regarding this game. I think this is going to be a huge flop. Um, Again, seems like this is the main character. It seems like a huge telenovela kind of game. It seems like a lot of drama for nothing in terms of the story itself. So yeah, I don't have a lot of faith of this game going to work out. Even though, again, the main thing that they're always trying to on the marketing side of things is this is the former Rockstar producer Leslie Benzies, who work on every GTA since GTA 3. Again, it doesn't mean anything. Working as a producer can have some effects, but again, the game is not made by a producer. There is huge, especially on GTA, there is a lot of people working that game, and it's not going to be one sole producer that is going to make the difference of a game being good or not. It's teamwork, at least it's what I expect from a game. It's a teamwork effort. It's not dependent solely on a producer. If it was a creative director of the GTA's, it's okay. It has a different meaning. But again, a producer from that that series doesn't mean nothing to me, but it's something that they always try to make it out to be a big thing there and try to hype up the game, let's say. But yeah, I don't see this going anywhere, this game, unfortunately. Then we will have supposedly a 40-minute plus PlayStation State of Play announced for supposedly today. Again, the only thing that interested me is something that for games that might come out to PC, um, it would be good to have an official statement from PlayStation regarding this thing with especially with Stellar Blade stuff there with the region lock. I think the studio is working behind doors to try and get rid out of the main game. At this moment, there is the demo that is doesn't have any region locks, and again, this game is a single player, doesn't have any PSN account linkage requirements. But I think it's something that they should focus there in terms of region lock when they publish games on PC. I understand multiplayer games because PlayStation doesn't offer those 140 regions or whatever it is. But yeah, the thing here I'm most curious about is see if something that it's going to be announced, like a first announcement, worldwide announcement that they usually call it, that might come to PC, not specifically under the PlayStation umbrella, but it's a game that will have a multi-platform launch. Sorry, and it's usually the first announcement might be done here on PlayStation again. It happens, and one of those might be the Resident Evil 9, the rumored Resident Evil 9 announcement for this year. Again, we will start off to see if this is going to be the showcase where this game will be announced. We'll have some showcases and some gaming festivals or cons that's going to happen in the meantime from Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show. I think they're still going to happen this year. So we have the opportunity of, if not this state of play, until the end of the year, we still have various opportunities to see if Resident Evil 9 is going to be teased or not, or announced or something like that. There is also Phantom Blade Zero. Again, this game still doesn't have a release date. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more information. Again, I like what they're trying to do here with Phantom Blade Zero. Very cinematic, kind of Wuchang style fighting game with some puzzling or at least some vertical and exploration map areas. It's a more linear, but you got some areas. I think it's trying to be a little bit like Black Myth Wukong. You got several areas, linear areas that you can explore with some extra secrets here and there for you to try and figure it out. But yeah, the combat seems pretty solid on this game. We'll have to wait and see if we get more information, or probably I don't know, at least try to pinpoint a release date for this game, because a lot of people are curious about this one. But yeah, this is it for State of Play. We'll see how it goes, what kind of announcements they are going to make. Again, it's just because there probably is going to be some stuff that will come out to PC that will be firstly announced here. That's why I'm curious about this one. Then you got Neowiz, the guys from Lies of P. They are basically self-publishing this game, but they have the other arm of publishing that makes some deals with smaller studios, and they will publish what they call a detective adventure game, which is Kill the Shadow. Similarly interesting. It's a smaller studio, Chinese one, where they have those incubator projects here and there. They get some funding. This specific group of people, they were founded in Shanghai by 5 recent graduates. They known each other for years, and they even participate in many university level game development competitions in China. and they won some awards. Again, interesting. This kind of detective game, like 3D environments with 2D characters, seems interesting. What they're trying to do here, basically, is a kind of a detective kind of character, which can rewind time. So there's going to be time playing here, or some playing with time. And they must investigate and deduce various bizarre cases in an alternate post-war divided city. Again, we'll see how it goes. There is a demo already for this game from last year. I was not aware of this. Again, a lot of stuff passes through me that I not aware. But yeah, I will link the Steam page of this one if you want to check out the demo there, and try it for yourself. And then here we got also from Celebrate. I just bring up the Steam page because there has already been a lot of mods launched since the demo came out. People are very, very creative. A lot of nude mods, of course, as usual with these kind of things. But there seems, I watched some on my X feed. There has been some interesting concepts on the suits that Eves wear, with some themes associated with it. And even the creative director is very excited to see what people will do with mods. Again, not only the skin mods for Eve, but probably content mods, given that this game seems to be pretty friendly to mod support, and is pretty curious to see what people will do with mods. Again, at this moment in time, people are focused on Eve. Um, but yeah, my thing is, I will probably try this game out to see how the gameplay systems are. Again, my curiosity is more about the lore, because the monster, the design is very interesting, and again, I think the story is serviceable, but it seems to be a pretty good action game. And again, we got skins for Eve. Again, if there is something that it's might worth delve into, we'll see. But I think mods, especially with content mods, I think will be better suited for this one, because I think if they can explore and probably expand a little bit more the lore of this world, will be something interesting to see. But yeah, we got at this moment, even the Nexus mods got at least a couple of nude mods. And a lot of skin mods for Eve, but I would like to see more stuff happening on the content side of things, instead of just having skins. Even though some skins seems pretty interesting on the theme they're trying to explore there. But yeah, I will have to wait and see how this game will perform. And given that the demo is performing very well in terms of hardware requirements and in terms of optimized as it is, hopefully we'll get good mods in terms of content. I think a little bit extra content will be suited better, given that there is already a lot of skins for her with cross content, cross gaming stuff, Nike or something like that, and Near Automata stuff. I think it's more than enough. But as you can see, there is this PC port seems to be pretty good. And then lastly, just an update regarding the cancelled Black Panther game. Again, one of the reasons that it seems to be cancelled is the fact that high costs and lack of development progress. Go figure about these people that want quotas. But yeah, this comes after Jason Schreier. I think it's he previous work on Polygon and Kotaku. I think it was Kotaku. But again, when it comes to these little things of having some insider information, usually pretty reliable. I discount usually his personal opinions, because again, what I expect from journalists mainly is facts and reporting on things as best as they can without and they usually take out the personal biases that they try to sometimes put in the articles. But yeah, supposedly the game was scrapped due to EA executives being frustrated that the game had not yet left pre-production phase after nearly 4 years in development. What the fuck did they were doing there? 4 years in pre-production. Usually pre-production is the shouldn't last that long. At least that's my understanding of a production cycle. Given that even the production cycle of a game, it's hovering around in these AAA studios 5 to 6 years, give or take, as an average, or at least best case scenario. If you already have 4 years in pre-development, pre-production, how are you going to need what 6 more years to develop the rest of the game, given how fast you are doing the pre-production phase there? Yeah, and also the fact that due to Cliffhanger being based in Washington, again, it's a very high cost living city, or it's not a state, but area, a very high cost living area. Again, they were paying top salaries due to the fact that it is a high cost living area there. Again, I don't know what they were thinking about this game. Again, and even regarding the recent momentum that they were trying to ramp up, I think claimed that they recently passed what they call a gate or an executive review that will determine whether or not the game would continue development. Again, probably somebody backtracked there because supposedly already passed that gate. Again, maybe somebody was trying to push this game the best they could to continue the development cycle. But again, it was killed, shut down the studio. I think it was the best option given if you have a development team that spends 4 years in pre-production on a game. I- they are not a good studio, that's for sure. But the information that we got out of this was also the fact that supposedly the game was for you to become the first black, not the first black, to become a Black Panther, and suppose you can choose between T'Challa, Killmonger, and Shuri as they battle to become the Black Panther, and the player was able to choose one of the characters, while the others will become like the main rivals. And so supposedly the main antagonists, so I also most of the enemies or the outside enemies were scrolls, again very bland there, who are attempting to invade the fictional country of Wakanda. Again, the setup here, it's very interesting because it seems very similar of what the Nemesis system was trying to be, which is the interactions between the other two characters that you don't choose and yourself, and trying to become the Black Panther. That supposedly there was supposed to be like a system very similar to the Nemesis system in the consequences and the choices that you were making, how they adapt there. Again, trying to look a little bit like the Nemesis system in that sense, which seems a very interesting concept there. But again, if you spend 4 years in pre-production, I don't know what will come out. I don't know after 10 years. I don't know. But yeah, to get to hear a report, what supposedly is also intends to replicate African martial arts mixed with superhuman strength, over the shoulder POV, weapons, armored gadgets unique to each Black Panther, explore cities, story reacts to your choices and actions with unique stories, missions, and dynamics, which is something similar to the aforementioned Nemesis system. But yeah, that I think this might coincide the fact that they are 4 years in pre-production, the fact that in 2020, no, the company hired this lady here, which is a completely bonkers person, and she started off with the very interesting called Game Devs of Color Expo 2021. This Lalander's character admitted to discriminating against white people in their indie games, indie game Validate, which is very interesting by itself. Again, talk about discrimination can only be done in one way. Again, I'm against all kinds of discrimination as a principle there, especially on the workplace. I think the best person for the job should be the person that should be hired, independently of whatever. And again, this comes in mind again the mentality of some these people, and I think that's why the because they what they do they know how to talk. They talk a lot, don't do anything. And in this supposedly game, as a team of all people of color, this is from her from this video, if not mistaken. We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment, and I know the best way for the environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me. And I'm not saying that white people in the industry and creating unsafe environments. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying sometimes it's hard to work with white people because they think that something might be okay, but what was really is a microaggression. No one wants to deal with that while you're trying to make a game that they love. Again, this kind of mentality kind of to a certain degree justifies the fact that this game was in pre-production for 4 years, because supposedly I assume there was a lot of microaggressions in the workplace and they couldn't focus on working on the game there while it was in pre-production. Again, this kind of mentality is a little bit egotistical, because it's in the sense, I think it's not about the 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 the, the race thing here. Is how about you feel uncomfortable dealing with other people that are not you, and usually the low common denominator that they go for is the race card, in the fact that they seem to look like you. But yeah, it's a good thing that this project was cut off, because I don't see anything good coming out of it. But yeah, it is what it is. I like good games, but yeah, these people that are trying to basically arrange any kind of excuse of not being of not delivering what they are promising that they want to deliver, and the fact that they had a good opportunity to do something good with this game and with this character, given that from the first Black Panther movie that came out with Chadwick Boseman, um, I think it could be a good opportunity to celebrate African culture in a sense, and they lost the boat there completely. I think to a certain degree, a lot of these activists were trying to use what the Black Panther character, I think intentionally was at the time, was to celebrate African culture, to enhance that. It comes always because it seemed to me, again, it's my perception, that it became a kind of black supremacist, to a certain degree, a black supremacist symbol to these activists, because they try to, I don't know, because the other persons are not good enough for you to work with, given the reflection of these comments from this Lalonder's character. It seems that other people are not good enough for you to work with, because they don't understand you. Everything they say, it's microaggressions basically, and for that, and with that, they don't create a safe environment for you to work. So because you are special and only you know everything in the world, and basically they try to appropriate to a certain degree characters that supposedly are to I don't know, enhance and celebrate, in this case, African culture, which I think it has a lot of good things. uh, I don't know. These people just destroy every opportunity to make their viewpoints have kind of any logic reasoning. And yeah, they for them to be discriminated against, them to be discriminated against, it's a problematic. But when they can do the discrimination, everything is okay, because they were discriminated against before, and then we got this vicious cycle that tries, instead of trying to break the wheel, as they say, regarding discriminations and all the that is subject with, they just just to some degree, it seems that it seems to me that they just want revenge. They don't want any justice regarding the situation of all the historic things that we know that happen. But yeah, a lot of stuff here. I ramble too much. Let's go for some gaming deals. We still have a Limbo for free on Epic Game Store, still around a day or so. Um, and then I don't know, we'll have some mystery game in a couple of days here and there. On Steam, we got from my library, we got Plague Tale Innocence and also Plague Tale Requiem. It's on my wish list there. It's 80% off. You can buy it as a bundle. We got also Batman Arkham Collection. I got the first two games. I still didn't bought Batman Arkham Knight yet. But yeah, it's 80% off the collection. We got Control Ultimate Edition. I do recommend this game, especially at this price point. There is, yeah, the Ultimate Edition is the way to go, of course. It has all the two DLCs that they, or expansions that they launched there also, and it's a pretty good one. I did enjoy it. I play by myself, and I have a good blast there. Again, 85% off. I think it's an excellent price. We got also Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut is still on sale around a day or so. 85% off, and then we got the sequel Mankind Divided, also 85% off. I think Digital Deluxe Edition might be a good way to go. It got some packs here and there, and it seems to have some extra content that is worth it. Then we got jusant. Again, I recommend this game at this price point. I did a series on this one. You can check it out the first couple episodes to have an idea what this game is about. It's an exploration game, and again, I already reviewed it. Also, I did enjoy it very much. We got also Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden. I did a gaming series also on this one. I didn't do a review yet, but yeah, if you want to try it out, you can play the demo or check the first couple episodes of the gameplay series that I did. And at this moment in time, the base game 70% off. I did bought the deluxe edition, which has the DLC there. Very interesting follow up on the main story there, and it's 61% off. And then finally, we got Slay the Spire again. It's a no-brainer if you like roguelike deck builders, and it's 66% off here. Again, I do recommend it, and it's very enjoyable. I did bring up my Patreon page there. Completely forgot to pull up that page. But yeah, I'll wrap up here for today. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy. Sorry. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunami Master out.